following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face-Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face-Off Hockey Show. With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
breakaway.
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe it not? Oh, yes!
Here's your host for the Face-Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
Well, the NHL created another quote-unquote classic. We should all be so happy. Welcome to Face-Off Hockey Show. Scotty Waz here, joined by the Patanzo boys. We'll get to all that in a minute. Johnny, he's sporting a new dome piece there.
Yeah.
Yes. It all fell off.
He's going the Scotty Waz route.
I needed a new kidding.
I have the longest hair on the show. Go figure.
How about that?
Oh, the longest hair. Yeah, so I worked a lot over the weekend. Like, by a lot, I mean, like, almost all weekend. So my boss was basically like, all right, you have to take off work tomorrow. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not going to work. So I did some stuff around the house. The guest room has a new wooden bed frame, a little bit of an upgrade. I took the metal bed frame to the dump because it broke.
Nice.
And
wait, you had a metal bed frame on your water bed?
No, well, it's not really a water bed, right? So it's got like the water
individual channels.
Yeah, it has like individual tubes, but it still has an actual like box spring and this like foam thing that goes around the outside that like keeps it together like as a bed, quote unquote. Like only the middle of it is a water bed.
Okay. I mean, it still has water in it, right?
Yeah.
So does that make it a water bed?
Yes, but the metal was not anywhere near the water. The metal was on the box spring.
And I would have to say it does make it a water bed because it is water and it is also a bed.
Yes.
So.
Well, it's not a normal water bed. It's not like it's a full like bladder that was sitting on like a metal like frame. That's just dumb. Dumb people do stuff like that.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong whatsoever.
I mean, that's just asking to flood the kitchen.
Yeah.
I think the kitchen's underneath of that.
You don't want to flood the kitchen.
No, not at all.
True.
So I have a IKEA wooden frame, kind of like the one I have in my room, now in the guest room as well. So it's nice. It's nice. Got that taken care of. But I'm just gonna say I got bored with myself pretty much. Watched some of The Voice. Ended up the mini season of the Blacklist, and shaved my head. But yeah. I was happy to see though that I have a good hairline still, like it's all still there, and it looks like it'll all come back pretty well. What color it is, God only knows, but you can see the scar now though really well. That's where I tested my head if been playing soccer.
Looks pretty badass, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me, buddy.
It's like a good bar fight scar.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now you just gotta
warning everybody.
Go to Frank's Den and intimidate some people.
Yeah, and be like, I'm throwing darts tonight.
Right, and then they still throw darts over you.
Right.
Oh, what guys?
Hitting bullseyes all the time.
See, I don't think bullseye is the best part. I think you gotta hit triple 20s.
Well, you have to. You need to, but you need to have the bullseye every once in a while, just in case.
Just to know you can do it.
Yeah, just to show off, really.
There you go. You double gun the girl and just be like, all right, you're coming home with me tonight. 45-year-old woman with no real teeth left.
Ah, Glenn Burney.
Yeah, it's Glenn Burney. I was going to say, let's not put that out of the realm of possibilities. So it can happen.
So yeah, so that all occurred. That's kind of how my week went. I worked a lot and did all the things I said and cut all my hair off.
Nice.
It's a lot easier to maintain.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I've learned.
Do you use face soap on your head now?
Well, so the technicality of it is that for Christmas, Mark and I's mom, she always gets us like they're basically free from like CVS because of like coupons and such, but it's always different like bath washes, like body wash. That's what it's called. So I had the 3-in-1 body wash that you use on your hair and your face. Anyway, so that's what I used. I just used that, using the loofah to like knead into the head a little bit. Oh, such a good feeling.
I feel like you're cheating though. I mean,
Right.
yeah, it's a 3-in-1, but you're only using. I guess you're actually cheating yourself.
I mean, I'm
You're
using
cheating
two,
You're
and
only
like
using
a
2
little
of the
bit.
3.
Yeah, but it's still hair. There's still hair there. I didn't like shave my head. I didn't pick it.
Yeah, but I don't trust something that tries to be too much. Like the goddamn Dial stuff. I think it's Dial, but anyway, they're doing something where it's the 3-in-1. Now they got a 4-in-1, which is also a shaving cream lather kind of
Whoa.
solution on top of
Wow.
the shampoo and body wash. I'm like, why are you being too much? Why are you being too much now?
I feel like that is aggressive. Like
Yeah.
that is like I plan on shaving my entire body right now.
They
So I'm
call it
gonna
swimmer's
use this-
delight.
I'm gonna use this shave body wash
Yeah,
combination.
it's shampoo, conditioner, body soap, and shaving cream. I don't understand. You're trying to be too much. Why?
Yeah, I agree completely. You that's taking it too far.
Sons of bitches.
I have
Every
Irish
time.
Spring though. It's Irish Spring 3-in-1.
Nothing wrong with that. I do like me some Irish Spring. But I like the bar soap. I like bar soap. I
Smells
like bar
fantastic.
soap over body soap any day.
I know, because you always buy it every time you're at my house.
Got to, man. You gotta have that feeling. I feel too slippery when I'm at home when I get the body wash on top of like humidity. So I'm just like, all right, well, I'm sweating already, and I'm already slippery enough because this body wash is like hydrating as well. That's another thing. It's a moisturizer. It's like 42 in one. And it's just like, screw it. I'm just gonna get a bar soap. I'm gonna feel a little bit dry, but I go outside. I'm gonna be muggy anyway. So the hell with it. Doesn't matter. I'll balance out my pH. Don't worry about it.
At
I'll
some
take it.
point, you won't
I'll
even
take
have to put it on like the loofah. I feel like if you just like put it on your head, it'll wash your whole body.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
That'll be like 35-in-1.
We'd have to conduct science experiments on that.
I'm sure it
Maybe
could
something.
happen.
Yeah,
we
sure.
could get like a middle school kid to conduct science experiment on it.
MSJ not doing anything.
It's
Let's do
true.
it then. I got a
That
call
is-
from MSJ the other day, by the way. Any of
They
you guys
called
get a
me
call?
right before the show.
Okay.
So it's sad. I mean, I
They're
understand.
doing
why I
a
get calls.
phone-a-thon.
I understand why I get calls from my college and my high school, but it's sad that I've had to put both of their phone numbers into my phone so that I know that I'm not picking up when I don't want to talk to them.
There you go. It's apparently a phone-a-thon they're doing, so.
Yeah, I figured as
Crazy.
much.
Yeah, of course. They only want money. They only want money, brother. Oh, still
I
love
still
the
haven't gotten a phone call yet.
Well,
Wait for it. They might have actually called me thinking it was you.
That's true.
So
That's
you might
true.
not get one.
the Leahy method.
They're like, how about we just knock out both Matanzas at the same? Either that or you put my cell phone number as yours.
I
I'm
don't
sure
know what
that
you're
could have
talking
been
about.
too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
I would
these
never
things
do
That's why I
such a
get.
thing.
That's why I get emails from Mark all the time. He just uses my email address.
I would never do that.
Stan
Ever.
does that to me. So I'm getting like AARP newsletters and like Republican stuff in my Hotmail account. I'm like, well, you son of a bitch. No,
That's actually kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm like, that's gold, Stan. You win this round. You win this round, sir. So there we go. Well, that seems like a hell of a day, much less a
Yeah.
hell of a week, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't realize all of the things that you can just recycle. First of all, second of all, they didn't even ask me if I lived like in the area. Basically, I drove up and there's a guy sitting in a golf cart, and he's just like waving me through. And I already have my license and everything like in my hand because I thought you had to show people your license when you go to like recycling places and dumps and whatnot. So he just kind of is waving me through, and I'm like, I have a metal bed frame, and he's like, number 3. That's all he said to me.
I thought he was gonna say number 3, Howard Baines. Veins.
So I had to drive around, and then I was like, all right, 1 is wood products.
Okay.
All right, 2 is electronics, I think it was.
Fair enough.
3
that
was
works.
scrap metal. And then there was an entire spot for siding.
Is that? Well, I guess vinyl, right? Vinyl siding.
It was vinyl siding, but the question that I bring up is how many people show up in like a Scion with like a bunch of siding in the back of their car, or like is it people that like are there people that remodel their own homes like that? I guess that's my bigger question.
I
Do
think
you
so.
put your own siding on your house? Because I feel like that is not smart.
Stan did.
That would be like me rebuilding my roof. I don't know how to do it. Not correctly.
Well, no, but if you have the wherewithal to do so, I'm pretty sure you could do it.
I guess
So,
that's one hell of a scaffolding, though, isn't it?
I don't think
I don't think my little giant ladder system is gonna help me with that.
Maybe not. Maybe not in your place, sure. But your place is small enough where you'd probably be fine. In terms of just you putting the ladder up.
Speaking of that, I do need a new roof. I have to call the cousin.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Call the family to come over and fix some things.
Gotta talk to the familia. I get it. These things happen. How long have you had this roof? Because you had a problem with something going into the guest room last time, right?
Oh, this is the same roof.
Oh.
We fixed it from that point. We like caulked up some holes where nails popped through, and then did some more things, and then basically, yeah, the siding needs to like come off, or the shingles need to come off, and it needs to be like completely redone.
Yeah, that's gonna be a nice job. We're gonna have to put a garbage thing out in front of your house. What's up?
Yeah, that's fine. He'll send over some of his workers, and they'll knock it out in a day, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I am getting the ducts in my house cleaned this week.
Quack quack, motherfucker.
I'm getting all my ducks in a row. But yeah, so that should help me breathe, right? That's what I've been told. At first, it's probably going to be shit because they just like kick up like a whole bunch of dust, and they're like, "Well, we vacuumed as much as we could."
Yeah, I'd say you stay out of the house for like close to a week after they kick that stuff out and let it cycle through. Just get a hotel for a bit and you'll be okay.
Yeah, live in a hotel for like 3 days.
Go stay at the Doll Apartments right down from Crabtown and you'll be okay.
Oh yeah, Doll Apartments. They look classy.
They do, man. It's like it's 1950 chic at 2013 prices.
They look classy in like, if I planned on murdering somebody, that's where I would take them.
Well, have you seen the inside of them?
No, I have not planned on murdering anybody recently.
Well, I will check it
The
out.
thought
Yeah.
does creep into my mind every once in a while. I'm not gonna lie with you people.
It seems that Doll Motel 4.2 stars out of 5 on the Googles.
Wow.
Going
What other
hard.
options are there in Glen Burnie?
Everything by the airport, I think. There's also some behind the old mall. And
There are some hotels up closer to like $8.95, right?
yeah, and then you have the Hampton Inn that's connected to the Old Country Buffet.
Right.
It's right there, right by the DMV.
Yep, got it.
Here we go, Scotty screen share on the Doll Motel, the best motel in Glen Burnie. Look at that.
Wow. I love the artwork.
That does look classy.
That is. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this.
Master Robin, you've lost your arms. That's a very nice set of boobs.
Daily housekeeping, emergency maintenance, the room amenities, appliances, wall-to-wall carpeting, Hunter ceiling fans, completely furnished.
Hold on.
Yo.
Hold on. Oh, wow. I
It's a lot to
do
take in.
fully respect any place where a room amenity is wall-to-wall plush carpeting.
Yeah, man. And Hunter ceiling fans, sir.
That's only the best.
Completely furnished, world-class Beauty Rest Simmons mattresses, Sony and Samsung TVs, including 42-inch LED flat screens, AC, cable service, and nearby garbage. So there you go. Look at that. That's a place that
Does
you
it
can send
list?
your
Does it list Frank's Den as a location that it's near?
It does not say. Give me 2 seconds here. No, it just says nearby restaurants. So it's right by. It's right next to the Slevin. I know that, and it's down the street from Crabtown, USA.
It is. It is. It's actually not. It's not very far from Roy's Quick Corner. Half mile, maybe.
Yeah, half mile. Glen Burnie, much of everything is a half mile.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything is kind of just like, it's a half mile from here.
Frank's Den is only like a mile and a half from my house.
It's true. We did the math there. To provide low pricing to our customers and simplify the payment process for our business, we accept cash only. Now that's not shady whatsoever. Let's not create a paper trail.
That is a classy establishment. And we would prefer it to be in non-sequential bills.
Yes.
All communication should be placed by phone. We look forward to hearing from you. Hours of operation, 8:30 a.m. to 12 midnight. Now that's customer service right there. My goodness gracious.
Nice.
They have apartments too.
At Frank's?
Yep, at Frank's Den. No, sorry, no, the Doll Hotel and Furnished Apartments. Here it is. Now here's the money maker. Oh boy, here we go. Doll Apartments Furnished, boys. Here we go. Let's get a little Baltimore. Let's get a little Glen Burnie charm in here, don't we, dear hun? Here we go. He's got your Doll Apartments there. You got your weekly and nightly rates. It's going to be fantastic. Oh my God. Here we go. Apartment-like hotel. Check out our apartment-like rooms. So here's the outside of the Doll Apartment Motel version 2 Electric Boogaloo. So it looks outside. That's your basic. Looks like on top of like how Lucky's has people on top of their business and amenities. You can see out there the Crane Highway.
Look terrible.
It's not bad. There's a creepy old house, I guess, where the landlord. That's a nice house, though. Holy shit. You can look out at that. Anyway, this little cauldron here, probably the souls of everyone who was murdered.
All right. All right.
Yep.
There you go.
That must be a commercial from 1980?
I think so.
Screenshot.
410-766-3655. There's the bathroom. Look at it, freestanding. You know, looks all pretty. Move on. Here's your CRT in the room. Oh, that's classic.
It's nice wood paneled, though. You know.
Oh, that's a sign of quality right there, my friend.
I am happy that they have the remote on the table so that they can prove to you that it has a remote.
Here's your plush bed you can go to. Even more of a plush bed. Hey, look at that dresser. That's a nice dresser right above right below the AC. How about that? Boom. Here you go. Look at this. Oh, look at this little living room. That's actually a nice looking living room there. That's a quaint living room. Mismatched furniture. It's like a college dorm. No one has the same thing. Nothing's coordinated. It's great.
Yeah, but the throw pillows bring it all together.
It does. It really does. I think the carpet brings it all together. Really brings the room together. Here we go. You got your dishwasher, your old school little nook.
Is that the electric box right there?
Your electric box right here in the gray. Yep, right next to the little order up window right here. Yep.
Order up.
More of the old living room in another place. As you see the CRT right there on your near side. Another thing of the CRT wood burning stove. Look at that wood burning stove there. Beautiful.
That does not appear to be a fire hazard at all.
No, that's going to be fine. It's going to shoot right out the building. It'll be fine.
Just to make, I mean, as long as the curtains that are right there are not going to touch it.
So many goddamn chairs in this place. Holy Christ. And I think we're back at the start. Yep, we're back to the start. So there you go. Those are the Doll Hotel, quote unquote, and apartment-like hotel rooms. Home away from home. I, for one, you know what? I really should have stayed there, in all honesty. Mostly for the CRT TV and to see if it actually worked. So, let's see our amenities there. What do we got? Extended stay plans. There you go. You got cable TV, maid service, full kitchen, large bathroom, washer and dryer. That's pretty nice. And Wi-Fi. Book your 1 or 2 bedroom apartments there, conveniently located near multiple restaurants, as well as the BWI Airport and Fort Meade. There you go. What more do you want? What more do you want out of this place? There's like no information about anything. They got an AOL account. Oh, they got an AOL account for their email address. God bless them. God bless them.
You know, Lynn had an AOL account up until about like 3 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for her. Going
Good
strong.
for her.
Going strong on that AOL. Lynn's like, I don't. You know what? I'm gonna see this out. I'm gonna see this whole thing out, guys. Lo and behold, there's yours. So Marky, what did you do this week? So we moved from one dial to another.
Yeah. A little
Sounds
of that.
about right. A little of that.
We have a microwave now. We didn't have
Hey!
a microwave for like a month.
Dude, that
you
must have
don't-
been hell.
You don't know how often you use a microwave until you need to use a microwave. And
Dude,
you
I use
don't
it
have one.
every day. I use it. I needed one. That was on my rider. I need a microwave in this place.
Yeah, so we got a microwave that did that today. Let's see, what did we do this weekend? I don't even remember. That's how bad things have gotten for me. But this coming week, I go to Hawaii for work.
Hey.
So there's that, which means that I'm probably out for the next 2 weeks. Just
All
FYI.
right.
That is one hell of a flight.
Jesus, yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day and St. Mario's Day and Easter.
Yeah, so it's I have a direct flight from Dulles to Honolulu.
How
On,
long is that one?
It's like 10 hours. But I get 5 of those back. So I leave at 9 a.m. and I land at like 1:30. It's not bad.
Oh my gosh.
But coming home, I have a layover somewhere. I forget where. One stop on the way home.
Probably Phoenix.
Yeah, probably Phoenix. You might be right. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Let me look it up.
Look it up.
Just for shits and giggles.
Phoenix Airport could be one of my most hated airports.
Why is that?
And, I don't know. I was delayed there back in 2004 for 9 hours. Because apparently they just
brutal.
couldn't get their shit together. So that's one of. I also don't like. I don't think I like Sled Airport either.
Yeah. So if I have a layover in LAX.
LA. Oh, even better.
So LAX layover is about almost exactly 2 hours.
Oh, that's not bad. Huh?
And I arrive
it's
at
not bad at all.
5:47 a.m. Back to
Black's
Dallas.
World.
Wow. That's a hell of a trip. Not even gonna get that
Yippee-ki-yay.
Not even gonna get that tailwind in you. Goodness gracious. Yeah, it's fun. Huh? Hawaii. Is that? You've been to Hawaii before?
I have once. But I didn't get to. It was only 5 days, so I didn't really get to look around all that much. But it was fun.
It's nice.
Ah.
That's to knock that one off. All you have to do is Alaska, and then everything. The world's your oyster, essentially, to get those 50 states done.
I don't know. I have a lot more left.
Yeah.
It's not just those 50. So, Hawaii is Hawaii is one of the tougher ones. You're
I was
right.
gonna say, yeah. There's only 50 states, unless Puerto Rico gets in, and I'm missing.
No, but
something.
I got a couple more to get to. I mean, I haven't been to all of them. That's what I was saying.
Just drive through the Midwest. You can pick them all up in like a day.
Shit, dude. No, you could drive the East Coast, then you got that. Mark's probably already done that. Yeah, dude, it's those prairies that are gonna kill you. It takes you 7 hours to get through Montana. So that's a whole day. Although if you go through the Panhandle of Idaho, you're fine. That only takes like 16 minutes, I think. Not sure. Yeah. There you go. Well, cool. Hawaii.
Yes, sir.
But it's a work trip, so I don't think you're gonna be. Do you get much free time?
No.
No, there you go. That
No.
stinks.
Yeah. No, not a lot of free time, and we're not traveling for fun, So
Well, yeah. Well, to be fair, at least you'll be able to buy milk for $11 a gallon. So.
Yeah. Well, I do have. I mean, they give us per diem, so there's that.
Per diem is German for the diem.
Is that true?
I guess. I read it on a book somewhere. Don't worry about it. You know, I didn't want to show off my knowledge, but here
It's
we
cool.
are.
I like it.
Okay, good. Glad. Super that Peter.
How you doing?
Oh God, I have realized that tomorrow could be the worst media day of my life, in terms of volume. So we got the Sinbin.net's trade deadline of the ECHL coverage. So that's from 11:30 my time till 2 my time. So that's 2.5 hours, right? Yeah. Odds are we'll go over. So it's 2.5 hours base. And then I'm doing the Sinbin podcast, a wrap-up show that night. That's another about hour and change. Then I got to do the In the Draft show. That's another hour and change with Radio's Todd Butts. So yeah, I'm pretty much not going to have a chance to breathe at all tomorrow. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And on top of that, I'm going to get a trailer hitch put on my car because fuck moving and trying to have other people move it for you because that's way too much money. So I'm just going to spend the $200, put a hitch on my car, get a U-Haul, and do it that way because it seems to be the cheapest option.
Yeah, it sounds. That does sound like the best option, I would think.
Yeah. As I looked at it, and I'm getting quotes of like $3,500 US, $2,300 US, and even if I did the pods route, that's like $200 plus. It's $299 a month plus $199 each time you move it. So shite. So basically, I had Jen recruit a storage spot, and I will be able to bring everything down in one fell swoop. It's just a matter of getting the trailer hitch attached there. Oh, and a funny thing. So my side mirror on my on the driver's side, it literally fell out.
That
Like,
doesn't sound good.
No, I
No.
was scraping the car, and then I look, and then the mirror fell out, and I'm looking at it on the ground on top of my foot as I'm scraping my car off. And I'm looking at it, and there's these two like hooks, like the top of these wire like hangers, like trying to hold on to the back, and I'm like, I don't know if these should be here, but it looks like it because it's installed factory-wise. How did this happen? Like, and the glass didn't shatter or anything like that. I'm like, well, this is weird, and I don't know what to do, and I'm a little scared. And so I just put it in my glove compartment, and I'm now driving without a side mirror on my driver's side. Although everything else is completely intact. Like it looks like it's there, but there's just no mirror. Like, well, that's weird.
What you could do is you could pick up one of those fogless mirrors like Mark has and
Yeah,
put it in.
yeah.
I could, yeah, I really could. That way, no fog, no muss, no fuss. So yeah, that's a thing. And then I gotta plan out the wearing out my welcome party this week. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I figured I could be self-deprecating at the end there.
You have to plan that for yourself? Shouldn't other people be planning that for you?
It's easier this way. Again, no muss, no fuss. It's just a matter of getting the days down. If it's going to be a 1-day event or a 2-day affair, who's to say?
Go for the deuce. That's what I say.
I always try to, but I have to have enough fiber. Swish.
The number
we'll
2 is regular.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is that the way I somehow oddly scheduled it, I forgot Easter was the end of the month. So basically, it's either going to be Good Friday or the day before Easter. Depends on when people want to get screwed up, really fucked up most, and then we'll go from there. I'm assuming the Good Friday.
You can sleep until Jesus rises. I mean, drink until Jesus rises.
No, I could sleep until Jesus rises too. It'd just be like the same thing. I'll walk down to the hotel lobby in a robe, just going, "I am back, my children," and then just walk upstairs. Just walk back upstairs and just be like, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fun. That's been fun. So yeah, basically, I've gotten rid of 5 bags of clothes, or 5 bags of clothes to donate, and then yeah, I just have to pack up this room and then go through some stuff in the basement, and I am done. Done like dinner.
Nice.
Yep. Gonna bring the couch with me. It's gonna be a great time. Comfiest couch in the world. It's gonna be great.
You're stealing the couch?
I'm stealing my couch that I bought back in 2006, I believe. And there you go. I will tell you this: the amount of shit that I went through that I'm like, hey, I didn't even know I had this. I have my play-by-play disc. I think I haven't checked it yet. I'll check that tonight. Of my time with the Washington Junior Nationals. So I'm sure that's just fucking broadcasting gold on there. Because I'm pretty sure there's some color commentary by Chris Poisel on there.
Nice.
So
That's gonna be good.
You know,
You should SoundCloud that and put it right on Facebook.
I think I should. I think I will. We'll have to see. I found our buddy Rich Bocchini's old band CD that he sent me. And now since he's a bigwig at the WWE, you gotta fucking rub it in his face. Doing fucking backstage interviews, that guy. Holy shit. Look at him go. Fucking A, man. How the mighty have risen even more. Look at that. Yeah, so that's that. That was my week. Just it's moving, and then tomorrow just a whole lot of broadcasting, which should be a hoot. It's not 11 hours like Sportsnet did or TSN, but it's gonna be a fun time. Yeah, it's gonna be a hoot. You know how we got guests, we got everything there. It's gonna be a great time. Go to simbin.net. We'll have all kinds of crazy shit for you guys. So it's a day full of fun, and you can see my high energy. I'm just ready to go. All right. So I think without further ado, we shall hit the music as I go through everything because we are tired.
See what condition my condition was in.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, what condition my condition was in.
Why is Tumblr telling me to show off the stuff that I like? I already do that. I don't need you to tell me I can repost stuff about freaking.
Tumblr has been pushy lately.
Tumblr really has been pushy.
Yeah.
I'm getting.
They wanted me to like change my password and stuff. Like,
Okay,
come on.
What jerks?
I know, what a bunch of assholes. I don't know if that's pushy or someone's hacking into your account. I will tell you this: no one's hacked into your account.
Yeah, nobody cares. I don't think.
When's the last time you did use Tumblr? I guess is the big question.
That is a fantastic question.
I'm
don't know.
gonna say over under 2.5 years.
That's probably about right. I mean, I haven't posted anything. But I mean, and Tumblr's blocked in my work because apparently it's a not safe for work adult
there's
website.
there's a lot of titties on there. There are a lot of titties on Tumblr. That's actually my
That's
new
what the
ska.
T is for.
That's my ska band's name, Titties for Tumblr.
Yeah, that would be a great band name. Titties on Tumblr. Hell yeah.
Best.
I like the video of Dogs Don't Drive, by the way. That was good.
Oh Jesus, that was hilarious. Mark, did you see that?
Yes, I did. There wasn't actually video of the dog driving, was there? I just saw the article.
No, there was surveillance photos.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, that dog. Oh, that dog of mine. Any case. Some injuries, some pretty big ones, including Euro Halak. Groin injury. He's going to be out a minimum of 6 weeks.
Oh.
So Thomas Graish, it's your turn. It's your time to shine, son. He's 18-6-1. Graish is this year, so I guess Graish is the word.
Doesn't that take Doesn't that take him like right to the beginning of the playoffs, pretty much?
It should thereabouts. Yeah, because minimum 6 weeks will take him 1, 2, 3. That'll almost take him out of the first round, depending upon the playoffs starting April 13th.
Oh wow, God,
So-
we're like a month away from the playoffs. That's amazing.
Shit's about, yeah. I think that's when the playoffs start.
The season normally ends the first weekend in April.
Yeah, usually. And usually though, the playoffs do start in and around my birthday, or usually on my birthday, because for some reason, it just like ends up.
That's how influential Scotty is at the NHL.
Christ, what am I doing? Well, yeah, I'm so influential. I have to fight for our credentials all the time. April 12th or 13th is what they say. Regular season ends April 9. So yeah, literally today is a month away from the end of the season. So there we go. You got 4 weeks left, boys. Make it count. Make it count there, boys. Brendan Gallagher, lower body injury. He's out 2 to 3 weeks. The Montreal Canadiens are basically just St. John's Ice Caps.
I think it's just time to shut him down.
I'm waiting for John Scott to get called up, to be quite honest.
Oh, that would be fantastic. That could be like a deleted scene or one of those like extra scenes during the credits in his movie.
Mitch Albom's gonna have to write that one in, and have John Scott like read to an old man. That's all he's good for. Mitch Albom is, I mean. Dylan McElrath, knee injury. He's gonna be out a couple weeks for the New York Rangers, putting a hit to their blue line. Matt Hunwick of the Leafs somehow found a sports hernia. He's going to be out for the season. Nick Ehlers is the name. Eye injury after he got a puck deflected up underneath his visor into his face hole. So he's out indefinitely. Anthony Blues.
That's it. Visors don't protect anybody anymore. Full cages.
Yeah, we got to go college cage, boys. Got to go college cage now. Although I do like the college cage, I'm not going to lie to you, if given the opportunity. College
I like
cage.
it too. It's a good look.
It's a nice look. It's a fancy look. I like it better than the bubble. I like it better than the fishbowl. Anthony Peluso, lower body injury or upper body injury. He's out 3 to 4 weeks. Kevin Porter, ankle surgery. He's out 12 weeks. So that's presumably ending his season. And Mark Boroshetsky of the Senators, knee injury. He is out indefinitely. Wow, they're just announcing all kinds of outdoor games. Holy shit, boys.
Uh-oh.
First and foremost, Jared Tenorti suspended 20 games for violating the PED dealio. So he is done for 20 games, the PED policy being violated on his behest.
That trade just keeps getting worse and worse.
It really is, actually. Blah, blah, blah. Does not say what the drug is. I'm going to go methamphetamines.
Nice.
All right, boys, so here we go. Here is... I am checking this right now because as we went on air, two more blah, 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 easy for me to say, outdoor games were announced. So I am checking right now. Yeah, that is afterwards. Okay. So on October 23rd, the Winnipeg Jets will take on the Edmonton Oilers in the Heritage Classic. That'll be at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers Field. So there you go. Also, alumni game, Gretzky and Solani have been approved. So they will
That
be
is
playing.
interesting. That's within the first month of the season.
It is.
Wow.
So there's that. On January 1st will be the Centennial Classic between the Detroit Red Wings being hosted by the Toronto Maple Leafs at Toronto's BMO Field. So that is January 1st. January 2nd will be the Winter Classic at Busch Stadium as the St. Louis Blues host the Chicago Blackhawks, as the Blackhawks will participate in their 423rd outdoor game. Then on February 18th, the Penguins will be hosting their 427th outdoor game, and they will take on the Philadelphia Flyers as the Stadium Series. So there you go. So 4, woo! Outdoor games next year.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this.
The fuck are we doing, boys? The fuck are we doing with this shit?
I am happy that the NHL has decided to go west a little bit with the Winter Classic and go to St. Louis. Why in the fuck are the Blackhawks playing again?
No
That
clue.
means they played in an outdoor game for the last 3 years straight.
Yep. 4 years.
4 years? My God.
Because they had the Stadium Series at Soldier Field.
Whatever.
That's absurd, man. Like, I mean, I'm glad they're rolling out all these outdoor games now, so we don't have to bitch and complain about it. And yeah, I do agree with the West being more well represented. But not even that, dude. Why are the Penguins hosting another one? Why are the Blackhawks in one? Why why are we having a rematch of the Big House Outdoor Classic? Like, the only one that I can agree with is Edmonton and Winnipeg. Like, that one is a pure Edmonton's
That
last
one's
outdoor.
cool.
Edmonton's last outdoor game was, I think, their Heritage Classic.
Yeah.
Shit. Like, in all honesty, like, I don't understand what the hell's going on here with the NHL. What are you doing, guys? What the hell? You know, why couldn't who else would you put the Blues against? I guess is the real big question.
Well,
Anybody,
here's-
I suppose.
Are there only like 6 teams that make money for the NHL? Because I feel like they just keep parading the same teams out because they're like, well, these teams are going to make us money.
That's a good question. I want to. Well, yeah, you can see that by TV schedule, of course. Yeah, I think there's only like 6 teams that actually make money for the NHL in terms of an exorbitant amount of money, an amount of money that will make it worthwhile, I suppose. Like, that's why you have all these TV games, because you know you're going to get the ratings for those areas. I would say Buffalo's another area that maybe 10. I would say 10 out of 30. But you can name but you have to think that 3 of those 10 are the big profit, like the Canadians, the Maple Leafs, and somebody else is probably Canadian. So just take those out of the equation right now. I should
The Sabres and the Oilers should play each other.
Sure.
And then they can hype that hype train of McDavid and Eichel once again.
Although that
Buffalo
didn't go
should
over
need
well
another
last time.
outdoor game.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
Who else?
Yeah, it's hard to.
I guess you don't really have. I guess the Blues don't really have a like rival, quote unquote, unless you count the Red Wings as part of that because of like.
I think the Blackhawks are their only rival outside of the Red Wings.
But I still feel like you should have other teams, like the Ducks. Shouldn't the Ducks be playing in an outdoor game? Or did they play against LA like a couple years ago? in
They
the
played
Stadium
against LA.
Series?
They played against LA. They
And
had
the
those Braveheart
Sharks.
jerseys. Sharks had that big game in Santa Clara and Levi Stadium with those shitty
Well,
numbers.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, fuck it then. Who cares? Here's the sad part: is that I'll still watch. Like I watched the Stadium Series games just because I wanted to see like outdoor hockey, and then I would shut them off. I will also say that I really like the night outdoor hockey games way more than the day games.
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, it's so much better. You don't have to worry about glare on the ice or any of that bullshit. So it works out perfectly. Now here's a question: do you want to go most valuable by Forbes? Or you want to go just like how? Like I guess it's
I think I don't know about Forbes these days. Forbes seems
Yeah.
kind of like BuzzFeedy these days. Is that just me?
I don't check out Forbes enough to agree, so I'll have to take your.
I feel like they have their own agenda.
Yeah, like I feel like the articles are just advertisements for things.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised. And who knows how their calculations in terms of their valuations of teams. But let's think about it. What teams are always on TV? You got your Flyers, you got your Bruins, you got the Blackhawks, the Penguins, the Caps. Who else do we have that's always on TV in the U.S.? Is that it? The Red Wings,
Rangers? Did you say Rangers?
Rangers, Red Wings, Rangers.
Did
You
you say
think of it.
Kings?
I didn't say Kings. I don't know how valuable the Kings are. Like
I feel like the Kings get that second like late night slot often.
Yeah. Well, usually that's because it's the only team that only U.S. team that's playing most often. Yeah, I guess the Kings would, just for lack of anything else. Yeah, I mean, there's not many. There's like 8 that we counted.
And the majority of those are recent Stanley Cup winners.
Well, considering there's only been like 2 Stanley Cup winners in the past 5 years. Chicago and LA have been alternating years.
Yeah, but Chicago, LA, you throw Pittsburgh in there because they're fairly recent Stanley Cup winners.
2009.
Yeah, I would count them in that group. So like all of the people and the Bruins. So all of the
Bruins.
people that you've just named, like have won the Stanley Cup.
Well, even beforehand, even on the Fox on NHL days, it was always Flyers, Penguins, or Bruins, Rangers, or the big market teams where they know they're going to get a rating.
Right. So what I'm saying is this is just reinforcing the NHL's decision to want to put these teams on the Winter Classic to make money, because not only are they Stanley Cup winning teams, so they're good teams, but they're always the teams that traditionally made us money, so then they're going to have to make us way more money now.
All right, that's fair. That's a fair assessment.
That's the way I see it.
No, you're probably that's bang on. And I mean, a lot of these teams do travel well. I mean, there's Penguin fans all over, there's Blackhawks fans all over.
I guess the converse side of that point is that all of the other teams that might have like when the Blues were a good team, not that they're a bad team now, but when they had 23 years straight of being in the playoffs or whatever that was, they probably, if this game existed back then, they probably would have been one of those top 5 or 6 teams that we named. And when the Islanders were having, a dynasty, and if they had these outdoor games in the, in the 80s, 70s, 80s, then they probably would have been on that list of teams that we just named. I mean, it's success breeds fans.
I'm wondering.
Fans give money, so that's sort of where we're at right now with these Winter Classic games, I think. Because when the Blackhawks sucked, 10 years ago, if they were in Winter Classic, nobody would have cared.
It's true, but I go back to your St. Louis argument. I'm wondering, you make a good point. When they were successful, if they would have been showcased on a bigger stage than they were, would they have been a bigger draw? Because I'm thinking about like how many people outside of St. Louis and those areas care about the Blues? Like how come they weren't marketed more when they had Hall and Oates there?
Right, and I wound up being a big fan because of Chris Pronger and Al McGinnis and Alexander Mogilny and NHL '94. Let's be honest.
Mogilny was a Sabre, but that's okay.
What's that?
Mogilny was a Sabre.
Oh, my fault. I'm confusing. I'm now confusing the two teams that I played in NHL '94, the Sabres and the Blues. But
I mean, look at the Stars. Like, how come the Stars when they went to back-to-back Stanley Cups, winning one of them, like how come they weren't marketed better? Like how come we don't have more Stars fans? Like Mike Modano was a guy who was a mainstay.
It's because they're cheaters.
Well, whatever.
They are cheaters.
Shut up, Buffalo. We're gonna bring our Dallas Stars gear with us. Be a complete heel turn. Yeah, I mean you bring up a very interesting point in terms of how would these teams, like how would the dynasty teams or how would the teams that are doing super well be if there was a Winter Classic back in the 70s and 80s and today? It's like White 102.
The mixed one of 6.5.
Yeah, exactly. Playing 70s, 80s, 90s, and today.
What do mixed stations like that do now? Did they just say the 90s and today? Because that's sort of the equivalent of what we had when we were growing up with the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
What does mixed one?
Because it's the 90s, the 2000s, and today.
Yeah, they say 2000s and today. I absolutely believe they do. Well, that's Owen Sound. I don't need Owen Sound. I need Baltimore's Mix 106.5. Thank you very much. There's a Mix 106.5 in Owen Sound in Ontario. So that's interesting. WWMX Mix 106.5. What are they playing? What are you playing? WMMX Wow, this is taking forever. They don't have a slogan anymore. It just says Baltimore's best mix. Amazing. They don't even have 90s, 70s, and it's a WordPress site, so awesome. Great. Good job.
So they're just keeping it in the 90s then.
Sure, why wouldn't you, man? Just keep it in the 90s and away we go. Just take your aggregated news and just do it that way. Oh my goodness gracious.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. There we are. Okay. In any case, so there you go. That's Mix 106.
All right, we can continue, I guess.
Mix 106.5, everybody. That's a good point. We'll talk. You know what? We should talk to Lyle about that in terms of what
Yeah.
will happen. What ha happen. So all that Jaromir Jagr passes Gordie Howe on the all-time scoring list, notching his 1,851st point. He is now, I think, 38 points behind Mark Messier for second all-time. And
That is awesome.
yeah, so good for him. Congratulations, and he keeps going hard in the MF and paint. No expansion coming soon. Apparently, George Laraque told a radio station that the NHLPA had been notified that Quebec City would not be getting an expansion team. The NHL quickly squashed that and said, first off, what the hell's George Laraque? I thought, who's that? I thought he was doing a union for junior hockey. And then they're like, no, there's no plans anymore for at all for anyone for expansion. Interesting. Someone actually finally brought up. I was listening to Sports Talk Radio. Someone actually brought up Kansas City as a place to move. I'm like, wow, Kansas City is actually a thing, and they're actually recognizing Kansas City as a possible destination, a little up the road from the habitations and the towns, you know.
Well,
Place you
I
saw-
mean,
well,
so let's be honest at this point, though, about the Kansas City arena. It's old now. It's like 10 years old.
yeah, it's coming up on 10 years. Coming up on 10 years old.
Like, even if an NHL team went there, they might have to renovate it.
But it's still a more viable option than anything Seattle has to offer.
That's true. That is very true.
So, I mean, you know, I wouldn't pshaw Kansas City, but I don't know. For some reason, I think Kansas City. How far is Kansas City from St. Louis? I think that's a real big thing too. Is that a pretty big trek? I don't know my Missouri.
I think it's like 4 inches.
Okay. Yeah, that's I don't know if that's that's a lot of inches. I don't know how many inches that is. It's a 1 hour flight. It's all right. It's almost 250 miles. So it's literally across the state.
That's plenty far.
That's plenty far. Although I'm pretty sure the Missouri Mavericks may not like that either, because that could cut into their thing. That'd be interesting to see how that affects the Mavericks. If it does happen, even though I don't think the NHL wants KC, I think they want Seattle, but Seattle has nothing to offer. So what do you do? What do you do? And with the Canadian dollar as shit-tastic as it is, who knows when the hell Quebec City's going to be in the fold again? There's that. Ilya Kovalchuk returned, so he's back with his team in Scott St. Petersburg. So congratulations. He must have
That's
been
good.
pick it up. So there you go.
Mount St. Joe's calling me again, literally right now.
Are they? You should take
Yeah.
it on air. You should take it on air. Just tell them. Just tell them you're on air.
Right
Just tell them
there.
you're on air. Just tell them you're on air. Take it
Pizza
live.
Hut.
Yeah.
They hung up.
Come to the Whopper. What's your beef? Oh, poor MSJ trying to get money. I saw it. I look at it. I'm like, who the hell's this phone number? And then I Google search and I'm like, oh, St. Joe. And then I look at their Instagram. Oh, they want money. Those fucks. I give it to them once, and they can't stay away. They're like, no. Can't
Well, here's
stop
the problem, though. They don't leave a message.
Well,
If
no,
you left a
because-
message and you were like, go to Mount St. Joe net msjnet.edu to donate. This is why we would like you to donate. I would do that when I get to work tomorrow. But I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk to some teenager kid who doesn't know how to speak on a phone, especially if it's Drama Club. I think it's Drama Club today. Or no, Drama Club was yesterday. Who knows what today? Could be Mr. Jeffries, for all you know. He'll threaten you to give
he
you
would
$5,000.
definitely get people to give money then.
Dude,
He'd
I'm
be like-
surprised he...
I'd be like,
you should tell him-
Patanzo, I know where you live.
That's the thing with Jeffries. Why would he use the phone? He would just show up to your house. He would
That's
have an
true.
address list.
Actually, he'd show up at the house with a yardstick for each child. One quick whack. You give him $50 and he leaves.
By the way, can MSJ change their website? No one owns mountstjoseph.edu. Why not get that instead of msjnet.edu.gov/net?
Default.
Yeah, exactly. HTML. So, like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe simplified a little more MSJ. We've got msj.edu. Anybody? Oh, we might have a hit here.
If they call, I'm not going to pick up the phone again until next Wednesday. If the telephone's still going, and then if they call, I will talk to them directly on the show and be like, "Hello? Yeah. No, I'm on the air right now. Yeah." You'll only hear one side of the conversation, which is great. I always find it really funny when people are talking extremely loud on their phones, because you can only hear the one side of the conversation, and you're like trying to piece together the other side of the conversation / like make up a like really cool story about what's going on.
See, that's why I like to go downtown and play Bluetooth a crazy person, and then that way you get to have both sides and also have a game element involved.
That's true. That's true. Who wins in that scenario, though?
We all do, honestly.
Advantage push.
By the way, msj.edu is owned by Mount St. Joseph University of Cincinnati, Ohio. So, congratulations. What do you think their mascot is?
A bulldog.
The Mountain Lions.
That is messed up. The Mount St. Joseph Mountain Lions? Come on, really?
Well, you know. MSJ Lions, shout out.
MSJMJ.
There you go. What? MSJML, you mean?
Oh, ML, yeah.
Like
the MSJ Michael Jordans. Now that would be a mascot.
What are the MJs? Well, if you don't know what it is, you can't afford it.
That's true.
I have bad jokes to tell. I don't know if I should tell them. Should I tell some bad jokes, Johnny?
Sure. I'm getting Lyle on.
Man walks into a bar. His alcohol dependency is tearing his family apart.
Oh.
Johnny, why does Michael J. Fox make the best milkshakes?
Oh, no. Why?
Because he only uses the finest ingredients.
There you go.
Why can't Helen Keller drive?
Why? Because she's dead?
There it is. Attaboy.
Nice. I always like why did the kid tiptoe past the medicine cabinet?
Why's that?
As to not wake the sleeping pills.
A horse walks into a bar. Several patrons walk out, figuring out the severity of the situation.
The literal jokes are always good. I like those. I like puns, too.
A dyslexic man walked into a bra.
I always liked the jokes about German sausage are the worst.
Two antennae meet on a roof, fall in love, and get married. The ceremony wasn't much, but the reception was great.
I like that one.
Two fish run into a cement wall. One turns to the other and says, "Damn."
Prop favorite.
That's a time joke, right? You laugh when you get the time. Yeah.
And so you're like, okay. That's a thinking man. You know what?
Here's
what you do, Lyle. You take a sip.
Let it switch around.
That's a good joke. That's a good joke. What do you call a fish?
That is a good joke.
What do you call a fish with no eyes? See, because it's no eye.
That's good. That is good.
Goodness gracious. Anyway. Oof. So, Lyle, these outdoor games are coming hard and heavy. In a big manner.
They got to make their money somehow.
We were talking about this before.
Mm-hmm.
Is the reason why we see the Blackhawks and Flyers and Penguins all the time because they're the only teams that make the NHL big buku bucks?
Exactly. They're the draw. I mean, listen, I agree with what Johnny was saying earlier in the show about, why the fuck is Chicago seemingly every year now for the last 4 years being in an outdoor game? That's why, Chicago is a huge market. It's huge. It's huge. It's bigger than my hands. That's how huge it is. as I do my
That's a
Donald
great
Trump
thing,
thing.
Oh.
Thank you. Yeah, probably. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Anyway, and the NHL loves them outdoor games, especially for the big markets like Chicago. That's why Boston, creeps in the equation more often. Detroit. That's why we're going to see Toronto and Detroit go at it again. Couple
2
years
years.
after they went at it the last time, they're going to go at it again next year. Why? Because that's hockey's, I would say, arguably hockey's biggest market. That Southern Ontario into Northern Michigan market, I think that's the NHL's big, because you've got the Wings, you've got the Leafs, all that history, blah 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 blah. So that's why you're seeing a lot of them showing up in there. I mean, I agree that it's a good thing we're starting to see them drift a little bit more west now. But yeah, it's once again it's Chicago, Chicago, because they're a big market.
Is that Toronto game an actual NHL?
Called the Centennial Classic.
Base.
It's not a stadium series. It's
Yeah.
not a.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I guess my real question is, did Toronto ask the NHL if they could do that, or is that something that the NHL put on the schedule?
Oh, I think it's a little from column A and a little from column B, to be honest. I
Okay.
mean, because the Leafs, the Leafs 100th anniversary is coming up around the same time as the NHL's 100th anniversary. So Toronto didn't get the draft, didn't get the All-Star game. Unlike Montreal, we all remember the draft in Montreal, because that was also
Parts of it.
Yeah, because that was part of their 100th
I don't remember the draft.
anniversary celebrations. You lying dog! You remember everything before 10 p.m.
I remember going to Peel Pub.
Yes, we all remember that
Oh, that
part.
was night. Yeah, that was night 2. That was.
I don't remember being in that bar actually.
But to kind of give the Leafs something, the quote unquote Centennial Classic coinciding with the NHL's 100th anniversary and the Leafs' 100th anniversary. But let's be honest here, brutally honest, the NHL is looking for ways to make more money because the Canadian dollar is in the crapper, and that's dragging down. That's to be, it's dragging down the revenue that the league can make. That's why we're hearing talk in recent weeks that the salary cap could basically flatline. It might only see a marginal increase, if at all. When Bettman projected $3 million in December, that was greeted with just unanimous yeah rights. Yeah right. Most people predict it's going to be less than that. Some people are even claiming that they've heard that it could actually go down. Now, I'll believe that when I see it, but I could certainly see it be only a marginal increase of, maybe
$60.
1.5 mil at top. Yeah,
$60.
$60. There you go. There you go.
There does economics says that there has to be a spot where the a sweet spot for the salary cap where it just is unsustainable to go higher than where it currently is.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. At some point, everything's going to level out anyway. You can only make so much. But let's be honest, if the Canadian dollar was where it was 2-3 years ago, or is at par or close to par, you wouldn't be seeing this gigantic plethora of outdoor games going on. No, but that's why. Now, and I mean, listen, they're huge. They're enormously popular. I mean, you look at the game in Minnesota and the state of hockey, for heaven's sake. I mean, that was a major draw. And I don't know what the TV ratings were, but in terms of at the gate, fantastic. And that's where the league is making a lot of their money here, by the way, is at the gate, like it always has. The NHL still remains predominantly a gate-driven league. But of course, it doesn't hurt that you get the increase the TV ratings and all that happy stuff, draws more eyeballs to the game, blah 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 blah. But that's the whole reason why we're seeing all these games now.
Question.
So
Oh, go ahead, John.
I was going to say, I would almost venture to say that the NHL. Has anybody ever put out how much it costs to put on one of these? Because I would venture to say that the NHL has gotten the ice creating beast
They bought their
of
own
the
truck
NHL.
for that, too.
Oh yeah.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I feel like they've gotten that down now that it's such a science that every time they do this, the cost of just doing that goes down.
Oh, obviously. I think you're right. It obviously does. As you said, they've done it so much. I haven't seen anything. I would hazard a guess that there's been maybe one or two articles that have come out, at least estimating what it would cost the league to stage these things. But I would dare say whatever they're laying out to stage them, they're making their money back and then some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, they're probably making more money now on every game than they were even 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Because as you said, I mean, they've got this down to a science from making the ice to everything. Taking into account of everything. Though I think that they learned that you can't use cotton batting as fake snow in an outdoor stadium. Because if the wind comes up, as they discovered in Denver, tends to go flying everywhere. Made for a hilarious break in the third period of that game, by the way. It was absolutely hilarious watching all these mounds of cotton batting flying through the air.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, but that's why they're doing it. That's why we're seeing so many games. We were going to see these games every year anyway because they are very popular. But we're seeing a lot more because the NHL is trying to make as much revenue as it can so that it can at least keep that salary cap going up by a respectable level.
Here we go. According to the NHL source, this is from the 2014 Winter Classic, so the one at the Big House.
Yep.
According to the NHL source, January 1st, a game at Michigan Stadium posted more than $30 million in revenue against the cost of $10 million.
There you go. Thank you, sir. There you go.
And that is from the Sports Business Journal, and the point of comparison, 2012 edition, made $15 million in revenue against cost of $10 million. So it looks like $10 million is
so it's
the
growing
point.
Exponentially here, as they do this.
That is interesting.
The cost of staging them is staying roughly about the same.
I don't know if you can count it like that though.
But it just keeps rising what they're bringing in revenue. Well, come on, you make $15 million in 2012, and you're making $30 million 2 years later. Though, mind you, the size of the venue has something to do with it too.
Exactly. You can't say exponential because you started in a baseball stadium and you made it. You ended up in the biggest stadium in the United States.
And they're gonna keep pushing to go into the biggest stadiums they can find.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Because they know they can load them up.
You'll never be able to find a 200,000 seat stadium.
Oh, yeah, at some point you will level out. Yes, at some point it's going to level out. But let's be honest, though. I mean, $10 million you lay out and you pull in $30 million, that's a nice haul. That's a nice haul.
Of the $10 million, according to the Sports Business Daily, of the $10 million to produce the event, $3 million was paid to the University of Michigan to rent out the stadium for 4 weeks. Other large expenses is set up maintenance of the stadium's rink, which is owned by the NHL and will be used at some games of the upcoming Stadium Series, so on and so forth. So there you go.
So 30% of that cost literally goes to just renting out the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's for. I mean, and that's University of Michigan.
Yeah.
They own it. And however much the rate is, I don't know how much the Patriots wanted for the stadiums or the
and
Winter
Michigan
Classic
wasn't even using their stadium though. Like some of these other places have to play games in different places because of the Winter Classic.
Yeah. But they were willing to pay the price because they saw what they could, the benefits of what they could bring in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it right now. BMO Field's not going to be used on January 1st. Busch Stadium's not going to be used January 2nd. Heinz Field's not going to be used in February. So I mean, they have all the time in the world.
And
it's just a profit for whoever owns it.
And I mean, this also to shift gears just slightly. This also is a reason why they're doing this whole World Cup of Hockey. Why they're resurrecting that. How much of that revenue is going to boost the league's coffers next year. You can't say it's outside. No, it's outside of the regular season schedule, so it doesn't count. But actually, yeah, it does. It's still going to be a 50-50 split between the league and the NHLPA.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, it's a big giant cash grab in order to be able to again, you know, put those revenues up higher. You know, I mean that's part of it, and part of it is they were pissed off because they weren't making any money at the Olympics, and they're hoping that this is going to make them more money so that they can justify not going to the Olympics in 2018 or beyond.
I will have to say that the pinnacle obviously is going to be having a game at Jerry World. Having a game at Jerry World at AT&T Stadium, 100,000 people possibly there in Dallas, Texas. Have the Dallas Stars take on somebody. Like,
But
who
isn't
wouldn't
the
wanna go to
TV the size of the rink?
thereabouts, but guess what? Have you ever? I know you guys may have not seen this. The Lake Erie Monsters have probably the biggest jumbotron in all of hockey. In all of hockey, because they play at the Quicken Loan Center where the Cavs play, and that screen is huge. I'm gonna try to punch up a thing there because I was thinking the same thing too. I'm like, man, that would be a huge thing. I'm like, oh right, they play at the world famous Quicken Loans Arena, and they have a huge big screen there. Of course, why would the Monsters bring something up like that? In any case, so yeah, I mean, Lau, do you know if the NHL controls the ticket prices, or is that team by team? Do you know offhand?
That is determined by each market.
Okay.
Each market determines what it can bear. That's why Toronto charges the most ridiculously, stupidly expensive ticket prices, and why Buffalo charges the lowest. Or Buffalo did. Now I believe it's Arizona, if memory serves. So yeah, it's based on what each market can bear. So
yeah, I was going to say because I was going to say if I mean obviously people will pay for a Toronto ticket. I was just wondering about ticket prices for a Winnipeg Edmonton game like that Heritage Classic game. Like how much is it going to cost that, and how much is that going to affect like the rev? Because we say it's a big revenue maker, but will the cost?
Well, that one I think that one will just because there's enough diehard hockey fans in Winnipeg and Edmonton, obviously, who would love to see this game outside. You're gonna have people coming in from all over the prairies for that one. Let's be honest. You're gonna come in from Saskatchewan. They're gonna come from Alberta. You know, they're gonna come. Some will come trucking in from northern Ontario, and some from Minnesota. You know, will come up. They'll pay the big prices to come and to watch those two teams play. Because let's face it, Edmonton has a draw now. His name's Connor McDavid. If for nothing else, they're going to come and see him. You know, and Winnipeg, as I said, smallest market in the league, but you know, give it up to them. They're staying diehard to that team, so they won't have any problem. Winnipeg will charge whatever the hell they want, and they'll get it. They'll get it because they know they'll pack the place. So you know, that market will sell. Now, if you were talking about Edmonton in Arizona being held in Arizona, they'll be giving tickets away, and they still won't fill the place. So, yeah.
That's fine. I think they'll be fine. I don't think. I don't think it's. Well, I don't know why you're worrying about that.
I don't even think hockey teams need fans anymore, Lyle. I don't even think that's the future. Arizona's just ahead of the curve.
Well, I mean it's almost like that now anyway with season ticket holders, Johnny. Seriously, I would hazard a guess that probably half of the season ticket holders, they're corporations, they're businesses.
Yep.
You know, they buy these tickets and they give them get the suites, they get the tickets, they give them out to their employees or to their business partners or whatever, purely for entertainment purposes. It's how they write it off, and so that's why when people say there was the announced attendance to I remember this a few years ago to a Florida Panthers game. This is back when the Panthers sucked. I know it wasn't that long ago, but still, this is when the Panthers sucked a couple of years ago. Announced attendance was I think 14,000 to the game, and there was probably 6,000 who were actually there. But the reason why it was announced attendance, the seats are already paid for. Most of those are season tickets. They're already paid. So Johnny, in a sense, it's already here. They don't need fans. They just need your money. You pay the money for the seat. They don't give a shit if you show up or not or who comes and sits in it.
Pretty much.
They don't care. That's why you're hearing a lot of Leafs fans complaining that going to a game at the Air Canada Centre, especially in the last 10 years, that it's just a corporate crowd. You know, they sit on their hands. They take their time coming back from the concession for the game starts. You know, because they're all spending time getting their sushi or whatever and chewing the fat and everything like that. And they just say, yeah, it's a corporate crowd there. The real hockey fans are being priced out of the market. But it's been that way. It's been that way for, I'd say, probably for the last decade and a half. You know, they've been priced out of the market. For Christ's sake, I remember going to a Flames game back in 1996, and we were shocked that we paid $150 for the three of us. That was the tickets, parking, beverages, and some souvenirs. And that was $150 almost 20 years ago, and we were complaining then, oh, how outrageous that was. Good God, to go to a Flames game now, you're probably paying $400 for a family of three to go watch.
But they froze the prices. They froze the prices. Don't worry.
That was nice of them. Yeah, they froze the prices for next year. The only reason why, and the reason they did wasn't because the team is making the playoffs this year. Oh no. Well, because the economy is tanking this year in Alberta. If the economy was still chugging along great guns, up those ticket prices go. Up they go. Oh, I know the Flames didn't play well this year, but cost of coming out to see us.
Think of the future. Think of the future.
Yeah.
He's making the thing with his hand. That means the monies.
Yes.
By the way, here is the look at the Lake Erie Monsters. This is the jumbotron they have in their arena, and there's the ice. So it's basically blue line.
Wow.
So there you go. Yeah, there's the edge.
That's impressive.
That is amazing.
That's also because the Cleveland Cavaliers play there. So that's the only reason why. It's such a big event. So there you go. It's a nice and just think about Jerry World. Jerry World would have that would have the entire rink covered by jumbotron. It'd be amazing. Dallas Stars take on Who Cares? Dallas Stars take on Fuck You. That's it.
That's about the size of it. Yeah.
Now Dallas Stars take on Chicago Blackhawks. Who the hell are we?
There you go. Who are we kidding?
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, get used to seeing a lot of the Blackhawks. Get used to seeing a lot more of the Wings and the Leafs and things like that. It's the teams that are the moneymakers. They're the ones who are going to be pushing hard for the next 2 to 3 years.
Well, Mark brought up a good point. There needs to be another stadium series or whatever in Buffalo. I think they've long got to earn it. So.
Well, they would love to have Toronto and Buffalo in an outdoor series. But both teams suck on toast right now. So if those teams actually improve to where they're at least playoff clubs in 3 to 4 years' time, let's be generous, say 3 to 4 years' time, they will move heaven and earth to have an outdoor series between those two teams in Buffalo.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But that sort of proves my point, though. I mean, Toronto and Buffalo, especially Toronto, is one of the biggest and highest most profitable teams in the league.
It is. Well,
but you don't want to see them in a Winter Classic. That doesn't make sense. Just because they're in a big market, they also need to be a good team in order for this to make sense.
Well, yeah, to a degree. Now, but again, I mean, you look at we're going to see them in the Centennial Series against Detroit in a couple years' time. 2 years ago, we saw Detroit, and Toronto facing off. And Toronto wasn't a good team then either. Toronto's not going to be a very good team, I think, in 2 years' time. Or what am I saying? 2 years' time? Next year? That's 2017, for God's sake. That's when they'll be doing this. Am I right? 2017 or 2018, the Centennial Series, Scotty?
2017.
There you go. So next year. So we know the Leafs aren't going to be very good next year either, but they're still going to draw because you're in that Southern Ontario. The numbers speak for themselves. That is hockey's biggest market. Southern Ontario into northern New York with Buffalo there and into northern Michigan. That's the hockey corridor. That's the money belt right there. New York Rangers might not like hearing that, but that's Toronto sucked on toast for a decade, and they've been leading the league in revenue every year. Yeah, so the numbers speak for themselves. Yeah, imagine how much more money they'd make if the Leafs were actually a cup contender. Oh, good God!
Well, they do get to sell new jerseys next year.
Yeah. That's so lame. Oh my God. Yes. We're gonna go back to kind of sort of old jerseys. It's just whatever. Just a big money.
Tiny stem.
Yes. We shrunk the stem slightly, and we've curled the leaf a little bit and stuff, and it's no different.
And smoked some of it, and we're good.
Yes. No stems, no seeds that you don't need. Acapulco Gold is badass weed. There we go.
There we go.
That's the slogan when pot becomes legal here in Canada next year. That's the
Oh
slogan.
God! Well,
Oh, you laugh!
that'll spark the economy. Don't worry about it. Spark it up for the economy, brother.
Yes.
Fast food
Pass the
restaurants
duchy
will
on the
go up.
left-hand side. There you go.
Although that will make BC the most powerful province in the world.
Oh my lord! Yeah,
God knows we don't need that.
hydroponic heaven.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of being high, apparently Jarrett Cowan's agents saying they got 6 months to get him good. Well, it could take 6 years. I don't think Jarrett Cowan's going to be
Wow.
what they want him to be. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He had so much potential coming into the league, and then he got that injury a couple of years ago, and he hasn't been the same. So, yeah. The Leafs have basically told him, go home. You're not playing anymore this year. And, yeah, if you want to talk to other teams, you can. Go ahead. Because they're going to buy him out. He's going to get bought out. And, yeah, so he'll be a free agent this summer. And, listen, I think somebody will take a chance on him. Yeah, at a dirt cheap contract, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
1 year for the league minimum. Well, maybe a little more than the league minimum. They won't want to insult his intelligence too much, but I'm sure it'll be like 1 year. 1 year, 1 million, 1.1 mil. Come out, prove yourself, And the team that signs him will either be, it'll be like an Alex Simmons situation again, like it was in Montreal. It's like, hey, if it works out, we didn't lay out a lot of money for him. If it doesn't work out, we didn't lay out a lot of money for him.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
goodness gracious.
Yeah. But his stock really, really plummeted, though. I mean, good God, 3 years ago, they were talking about him as being like if not a Chara clone, at least, the next best thing, I guess, in Ottawa. They were saying he'd be the biggest thing in Ottawa since Zdeno Chara, and not even close.
Last thing we need is a Chara clone.
Oh, good God.
2 Chara bombs.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Chara!
Back to back, too. How weird would that be?
Mm.
Uh,
I forget how long he's been in the league, too, man. Like, he made his debut, he made his debut, what was it, 97, 98 with the Islanders? And then he was just known as just this big goon. I remember Islanders fans coming in just talking about, Big Z was going to come in and beat everybody up. No, I think, oh, great, another goon. And you look at it, 6'9", 200 and, whatever pounds. It's like, oh, for God's sake.
Nothing like somebody that you have to change the rules for.
Yeah, and then bang, he turns into 10 years later he wins a Norris Trophy, and it's just like, holy shit.
how about that?
We were wrong about that, though. Still, one of my favorite scenes of all time was watching him throw Brian McCabe around like he was a rag doll.
It was nice.
10 years ago. That was hilarious. Every now and again, I throw that up on YouTube just to have a chuckle.
Just like, this is good.
You see a grown man being thrown around by a shaved Sasquatch. It's impressive, I'm telling you.
This is something I could enjoy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Something for the kids, ladies and gentlemen. Something for the kids.
Milan Lucic, what should we worry about there in terms of their contract?
That's going to be interesting. Yeah. The Kings want to re-sign him. He wants to stay. But the problem is they not going to have a lot of cap space, man. 64 mil right now. They'll get about 2.25 million of extra freed up when Vinny Lecavalier retires at the end of this season. So say around 62 mil and change. But if that cap doesn't go up significantly over its current level now, they're not going to have a lot of money to re-sign this guy. He's making 6 mil a season right now. You got to figure, geez, if he's willing to leave money on the table, it's not going to be for anything less than 6.5. And that, I think, is being generous. I think, let's be honest, his age is going to want to push for a lot more. He might maybe look at, okay, give me 7 mil annually or, 6.9 mil, and I'll stay. But even then, let's just assume for a second that he'll accept 6.5 to stay. I mean, once you factor that in, that you're looking at about 68, 69 mil invested in your payroll for next season. Let's assume the salary cap is going to go up as much as Bettman suggests it will by 74 mil. That's not going to leave you very much for your other re-signings, for your other replacements and re-signings. So somebody else might have to go if you're going to keep Milan Lucic there. But who do you move? I mean, if you're not going to be able to move Dustin Brown, not at that salary and the way he plays. You're not going to be able to move him out. You're not moving Drew Doughty. You just re-signed Kopitar, so he's not going anywhere. Jeff Carter, you're not going to trade him, are you? That would be hilarious.
That would be amazing. Can they call Stan Bowman to see how they're able to get all that money under the cap? And
well, it's going to be. Well, Dean Lombardi was able to juggle it up pretty good for a while there himself too. But it's going to be interesting to see. This is going to be a good test for him here. If he can keep Lucic, how's he going to restock the rest of that roster? That's going to be the big question.
Oh, that's going to be fun. They got a lot of stuff on the farm.
Well, yeah, and listen, don't forget. I think it's not this summer. Next summer, Tyler Toffoli is going to be up for a big raise too.
Yeah.
So they gotta. It's not just this summer coming. They gotta look ahead at other guys as well. So, gonna be tight. Somebody's gonna have to go. Could you say bye to Jeff Carter? You're not gonna get rid of Jonathan Quick. He's your franchise goalie. As I said, you're not moving Drew Doughty. You're not moving Kopitar. So.
That's your core three right there.
Marian Gaborik, you're not gonna be able to move him now.
No.
No. What value he had is gone now. So you're not gonna be able to move him.
Interesting times ahead for LA. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, that's why I think it's going to be a big role for them this year. Big push for the cup this year, because I think Lombardi knows that the next 3 or 4, I think they're gonna still be competitive. They'll still be a playoff team, I think, but after this season, I don't see them staying in cup contention, because that cap's just gonna slash away at gonna force them to slash some of that payroll. So
there you go. Apparently GMs are going to have some discussions, and the NHL is working on some things. Most importantly, the review process, including blue crossbar cameras and blue line cameras in time for the playoffs.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I for one, it's whatever.
I want to, I want to see him get rid of is the damn coach's challenge, because that's just become a goat fuck of monumental proportion. Nobody likes it. The players hate it, coaches hate it. John Tortorella, bless his heart, but it was John Tortorella who was the first coach to lead the charge against the coach's challenge. He said, I don't like it, it's a waste of time, yada, 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 So, God bless John Tortorella. This thing is rapidly becoming universally hated around the league. And you're not going to see anything changed on it now, but I think it's going to be something they talk about at the Board of Governors meeting, and I think that's something you're going to see come up for change in the off season, because let's face it was a good idea in theory. I have to say, good idea in theory, but there were people, wiser folks than myself, who raised some red flags about how it was going to be abused. And sure enough, we've seen it. So I think they won't get rid of it entirely, but I think you're going to see a significant rewrite of the rules regarding coach's challenge.
And let's be honest, in theory, communism worked as well. So,
yes. In theory, communism worked. In theory, the Inquisition was not a bad way to weed out dissenters at a Catholic church. Just usher them on their way. Good in theory. And other things that were good in theory that turned out to be horribly, terribly, miserably wrong throughout history.
I'm trying to find. There was something, I guess, another rumbling. I don't know if this was recent. It seemed to be recent in my trying to make a rundown about looking at more discussion about bumping up the draft age to 19.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a thing, or was I just reading something from like years ago?
No. This is something that Pat LaFontaine. It's part of this group. They're just kind of looking into this idea, this sort of their NHL brainstorming bunch. They're looking into what they think would be, the possibility of raising the draft age to 19 and the effects. Personally, I'm all for it. I've been for raising the draft age. I would like to see it go to age 20, to be quite honest, to be blunt, with certain stipulations. The stipulation being for somebody like, say, a Connor McDavid, for example. When you've got a can't-miss kid like a Connor McDavid or like an Alex Ovechkin, that's fine. Maybe
you do the exceptional rule like the OHL has.
Maybe where you have you get one exception, but everybody else, no, you go to age 19 or go to age 20. That's what I would like to see. I wouldn't want, because you wouldn't want to shut out a Connor McDavid out of the NHL for 2 years if he's obviously good enough and ready to go. The same as you wouldn't have wanted to shut Ovechkin out of the league, for that long.
Well, how the Panthers try to get him a year early?
Yeah, But in most cases, most 18-year-olds are not ready. Most of them end up going back to their junior teams or back to their European clubs because they're just not. Hell, some of the European kids, they don't even come over. At 18, they're just like, thanks for drafting me, but I'll see you maybe in a year. When I'm a little bit more mature mentally and physically, to at least come and try out for this thing. Because there's been too many cases where you see more kids have either their NHL careers slowed in their development, if not outright destroyed, by bringing them in at 18 when they're not ready, and putting all this pressure on them, to perform. To play up to those lofty expectations. I think, somebody like Nail Yakupov is a perfect example of that. Okay? First overall pick, 18 years old, comes into the league the following season. Yes, during it was lockout shortened. Yeah, looked good at first. Yeah, showed some promise, and it's just gone downhill ever since because he got caught up in a system, in his case, where it was revolving door coaches with incompetent management, and you see him now. He's damaged goods right now. He really is. Now I think he might improve. Playing on a team that's got a little more depth, a little more experience. With better coaching, and that's not a knock against Todd McClellan, by the way. Right now, I mean, he's doing the best he can with what he's got there. If they do keep him there, I'm sure that McClellan will keep working. But quite honestly, I think Yakupov will get dealt this summer. I think he's out of there. I think they're going to trade him. I think they're going to say it'd be better off if you go, to a deeper team where you'll have a better chance to develop. You're not going to have so much pressure on you.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, but like I said, NHL history is replete with players who either had their development stunted, or if not, their NHL careers outright destroyed because they were rushed in at 18 to play because we drafted you 18. Oh, here you go. And you end up playing. It's one thing if you're playing on a very deep championship club like the Chicago Blackhawks or the Detroit Red Wings, who, by the way, never do that to their young players. Never. When those kids come in almost every case, they push them back down. They make an exception for a Patrick Kane or Jonathan Toews. All the other ones, no, back down you go to your junior clubs. We'll see you in a year at least. Same thing with Detroit. Dylan Larkin was the lonely exception to that rule last year. They were going to send him back. They were going to send him back down to the AHL this year when it started. But then Pavel Datsyuk got hurt, couldn't come. Wasn't going to be ready in time. So they're like, well, we don't have any choice. Kid seems good enough. Let's throw him in there. And lo and behold, yeah, it turned out to play very well for them. But in most cases, they don't do that. It's the teams that are poorly run. Think of the Edmonton Oilers for the past 10 years, Toronto Maple Leafs up until this season. Hell, you go all the way back to the Mike Milbury circus that was the New York Islanders. I mean, how many young players did he wreck? So, I'm all for bringing raising the draft age to 19. Will the league do it? Probably not.
I wonder, the Dylan Larkin situation would have been interesting because I don't know if they could have. I wonder if they could have sent him to the AHL, or if the AHL would have demanded him going back to Erie because that's who owned his OHL rights.
Well, apparently, from what I understood of the situation was, I mean, he'd coming out of decided wasn't going to be going to college, So he played for their AHL club last year in the playoffs, not during the regular season, but he played for him in the postseason.
Yeah, played 6 games.
Yeah, and because of that, the talk was, well, no, we would like for him to get another year of AHL experience, and that was sort of their game plan because Pavel Datsyuk was, of course, obviously going to be their guy, but then Datsyuk had ankle surgery and wasn't going to come back until November, so they were kind of stuck, and it was like, well, let's play the kid and see what happens, and it turned out it worked well for them, you know. But
well, yeah, I can understand why he played the playoffs because the OHL season, I think, for all intents and purposes, was over at that point or close to being over. I don't know. Especially guys going to college and then still having their rights owned by a CHL team is always an interesting conundrum to me.
Kind of
what the rules are with that.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I haven't studied up very much on that. I won't pretend that I know what it is. I'm just passing on what I'd heard about it. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, Well, you see, in Article subsection B of paragraph C of this comic book I happen to be reading.
Act like me tomorrow, and when I'm trying to just figure out why the Fort Wayne Comets are not pushing for another top 6 forward.
Why aren't they, Scotty?
I have no idea. I'll have to do that preparation tonight. That's why I needed some help.
Red Bull is your friend.
Let me tell you, thank God I have highlights in YouTube. So there's Dylan Larkin. Speaking of a guy who got sent back to the AHL and his subsequent refusal to accept it, Johnny Drouin's back, everybody. After a year of his contract has been burned.
Yep.
Due to the suspension, he is back in Syracuse, going ahead and having to earn the respect back. He'll play on Friday, I believe. Depends on how the coaches go about it. And yeah, an interesting situation, especially since he said it'll be worked out this summer. Don't worry, guys. And then went about his business. How it's going to be worked out? What, June 26th when things are going down?
That's I would anticipate by no later.
48 hours after the Stanley Cup Final is done.
Probably not that soon, but I do anticipate by no later than the end of the first round of this year's draft. Mr. Bettman will stand up there and he'll swagger up there like Vince McMahon. And we have a trade to announce, and everybody will boo. And he'll go, I think you're going to want to hear this, because he'll probably get, because you know what I'm thinking? I'm going on a limb here. He's going to get traded to Buffalo. Going to Sabres. I have a feeling. I just have this feeling. But the reason why Sabres,
Arizona, honestly.
Sabres got picks and prospects. They are willing to move. They got cap space. They can re-sign this kid because he's only got 1 year left at entry level, so they could turn around and re-sign him. They could turn around, do the trade, and then sign him within 48 hours. You know, here's your big fat contract. Go out and play for us. But I'm singing Buffalo. I'm singing Buffalo for Drouin, going to Sabres. But yeah. Man, he had no choice. He had to come back and play. They were hoping that he was going to get moved to trade deadline. That's what he and Alan Walsh were gambling on. And there was interest in him. There was at least a dozen teams that had various degrees of interest in him. But at the end of the day, Stevie Y didn't get a deal he wanted. And so now it's just like, oh, great. Well, you know, okay, kid, you better go out and play for go and play the rest of the season in the AHL. Give the scouts something to look at. Kind of burnish your resume. And listen, Yzerman didn't rule out completely the possibility that maybe he gets called back up, before the regular season ends or even in the playoffs. So, there's always that possibility. Will we see it? Unlikely, unless there's a big rash of injuries. But,
Yeah,
at least
should the Lightning make the playoffs, that's kind of the last thing that you want on your playoff roster is a guy that doesn't want to be there. Well, as we look at Nashville 10 years ago, or how long ago that was, when they had Kostitsin and the Kostitsins, I should say, plural, and Radulov just going out drinking the night before.
Oh, man, yeah. That was a bad scene. Exactly. So, yeah. Well, I don't think I get what you're saying. He won't do that. No, I get it. But I get what you're saying. You don't want to have that distraction. It's playoff time, and every microphone's going to be shoved into his face. It's going to be prefaced with, so, where do you see your future? Do you still want to be traded? Do you like it here? And go.
And go.
Yeah.
What? I don't know what to talk. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Do you still like Steve Eisenman, or do you think he sucks big hairy moose balls? Go. And that's what it'll be.
Listen, I have a question, Mr. Drouin. Now, was it a Greyhound that Stevie Eiserman rented to run you over in that bus, or was it more of a school bus kind of thing? Go.
Go. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? That's gonna be my if I ever get into a bigger scrum, I'm just gonna just yell go, and then
Just say your spiel. Say your spiel about 110%, and we got to work hard and all
and I'll
that.
be just like, even on one-on-one interviews, I'll just be like, if I sit down, like I'm going to Winnipeg, I think in April to see the Moosies play, and I'm going to try to get something with Mark Chipman there, the most electrifying man in hockey entertainment, because he's my hero. And I'll just say, sitting in front of him and be like, Mr. Chipman, now obviously this is the first time the Moose have been back in a while. How has the fan reaction been, despite having the Jets having a dismal season and the Moose having a dismal season? Go.
Go.
What?
No, just go.
Well, I have to say the excitement level here has been top notch, as you can tell by my demeanor. Mark Chipman is about as exciting as a bag of Lay's potato chips.
I'm pretty excited.
Wow.
No ridges? No ridges?
Yeah, obviously, Richard.
Oh, come on! No, it's got to be ridged for your pleasure. Come on.
No, he is as dull as a bag of regular chips you get at the Subway. Like it is, you add to your order. That's how I love Chipman. I love what he's done for Winnipeg, but man, dude does not exude intensity. That's the like we say that introduction speech in 2011. He just stood up there, and this is like the most. Everyone's rioting in the streets. Portage in Maine is insane, and it's a business day, and he's just sitting up there. It's a great time for the Winnipeg Jets. I really can't believe that we've come this far. I can barely contain my excitement. I'm just like, huh? What?
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to celebrate with this piece of bland toast and tepid tap water.
Al Gore has more charisma than this.
Oh my god.
Hey, listen,
he
since
invited the internet.
Hey, you bring up the environment, and he actually does have charisma. Anything else, and he's bored. But talk about the environment, and good God, what did you do with Al Gore? Who's this interesting and charismatic person? Oh, wait a minute. Now he's talking about government policies. Never mind.
The lockbox. The lockbox.
He has his algorithms.
I think the best one was
algorithms.
I think the best one was it The Simpsons that came out with a Al Gore doll? You are hearing me talk.
And then South Park had him searching for Man Bear Pig. He's the reason for all the environmental problems. Is the Man Bear?
The Man Bear Pig. Yeah.
Half man, half bear, half pig.
Yep.
I always found hilarious.
Oh my god, no. half man, half bear, half pig. A little wrong with the math there, but who cares? It's glorious. Go. Just go. Go with it.
Fine with what you're doing, go.
Yes. Are you fine with what you're doing? And back to Mark Chipman and his tepid tap water. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I am here, and I am excited. I am ready to go. I am Mark Chipman. Wow. And even when he announced the team, the Winnipeg Jets, he couldn't get hyped for it. It'll be the first pick for the Winnipeg Jets. Crowd goes wild. He just turns and just stares out into the dais and just.
He's a business drone. What do you expect? He's a business drone. He gets his excitement from going home and looking at spreadsheets.
Hey, that is very exciting. All right.
Hot spreadsheet action, baby. Just that thought. Spread.
Damn, girl, look at this spreadsheet.
Mm.
Hey, I mean, you could say that he's excelling at what he does.
How dare you?
Oh, Johnny.
That's the one of the night.
That is.
How dare you?
If I hadn't paid so much for this microphone, I'd drop it.
Don't drop the mic! Don't drop the mic! Just imagine him dropping the mic. Just imagine. There you go.
Okay. All right, there it is.
There you go.
There it is. All right.
There it is. That's what I want to hear the Detroit Red Wings do when they play. If you want to make this a throwback and everything like that, when you go and play the Toronto Maple Leafs for your centennial thing, bring back that the tag team song from your tag team goal song from 25 years ago. Whoomp, there it is.
Oh, by the way, speaking of tag teams, and Lyle, you will love this.
Oh.
So, Jen and I usually take a trek up to the Comic-Con in Winnipeg.
Oh, yeah.
It's a thing. She likes it. I'm there. Like, they have sports cards, so I just kind of hang out there and then let her get her geek on.
There you go.
And this year they announced some of the big guests. First off, William Shatner is going to be there.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
The second headliner, the co-headliner for the weekend.
Uh-huh.
Give him the axe. Give him the smash. It's the
Oh!
Bill
Wow.
Eadie and Barry Darsow will be up there.
Wow.
Signing autographs and probably in really half-ass face paint. Just
Wow.
hanging out and having a time.
Barry Darsow, man. I was a fan of his back when he was Crusher Khrushchev.
Well, who was? I was a fan of his as the Repo Man, and he doesn't want to talk about it.
And he doesn't even want to talk about that, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I remember when he was Crusher Khrushchev with Nikita and Ivan Koloff in the old NWA.
Exactly. The good old times when they were
Yes.
territories.
Yeah.
I think Nikita who was it? It was Nikita Kozlov, right?
Nikita Koloff.
Nikita Koloff.
Nikita and Ivan Koloff. Ivan Koloff, who was from Quebec. That was the best.
Nikita Koloff's from Minnesota. So
I know, yeah, of course. Same as Barry Darsow, for God's sake.
Well, everyone came from Minnesota.
Everybody, they all came from because he came from the AWA camp. Yeah. Everybody in the early to mid '80s came out of the AWA camp, went on to bigger and better things.
Exactly, because when Vern Gagne almost made him put him over, he had to get rid of him.
Yeah, well, because Vern Gagne didn't know how to run the business anymore. He kept pushing old guys like Nick Bockwinkel over guys like Hogan and Martel and the other guys that were more deserving. Yeah. Look at the tag teams, for God's sake. I mean, he basically ran the Road Warriors out of town. He didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah. And now you got a guy who's an actual Russian and Nikolai Volkov running for used to run for representatives of Maryland.
Actually, he's from Yugoslavia. He's originally from Yugoslavia.
That's a shame. Oh yeah, it just says Socialist Republic of Croatia and then Social Federalist Republic of Yugoslavia. Yeah. There's several things here, but he lives in Maryland.
He was a refugee from there, and
he went to Canada. Stu Hart.
Yep. Oh yeah, the backstories of a lot of these guys is really quite fascinating. Yeah.
Now he lives in Glen Arm, Maryland.
Yep.
$75 to anybody in Maryland who knows where Glen Arm, Maryland is.
I don't even know where Glen Arm, Maryland.
And you guys live there.
I actually had to look it up on Wikipedia because I thought it was. Is that near Glen Burnie? No, heavens no. It's in looks like it's in Baltimore County, but just above the city. Near the Hereford zone.
Yeah.
Boom. Wow, there was someone who put an article out about the 3 backup goalies who are ready to be starters next year.
Wasn't me.
I know it was on the Score. Who usually have decent things that they aggregate from other people, but this one was interesting. They said the 3 that they gave that was actually 4 was Antti Ranta. Either Freddie Anderson or John Gibson, and Michael Neuvirth.
Okay, Neuvirth. Maybe. I would still want to see one more season with him, in a starter role in Philly, before I would actually buy into him as really ready for the big time. I'm still kind of buyer beer. John Gibson is the starter for the Anaheim Ducks. Freddie Anderson is going to be out of there this summer. I honestly believe they're going to trade him. He's a restricted free agent, but he's 1 year away from UFA status. He's got arbitration rights. Bye-bye. They're going to trade him. John Gibson's their man. So I'd say Anderson, because Antti Ranta, no. I don't know why they thought that Antti Ranta would be ready. Actually, I shouldn't be that way because I know what it's like to be given a topic and you got to turn around and go, oh crap. How am I going to make a soap purse out of this souse here? Okay.
Like,
So-
for Jesus Christ, what are we doing, guys?
Yeah, but I no, Ranta's not ready. Anderson, I think, could be. He tends to be inconsistent, but I think though of that group, Freddie Anderson's probably the most likely. John Gibson, I don't consider him a backup. He's been largely the Ducks starter, when he's healthy
Sure.
this season. So
There we go. Did I have anything else? Let me check this rundown. Goal line review, Lucic, Drouin, playoff talk, Derek Cowan stinks.
Yeah, we covered everything.
How about them Capitals?
how about those Capitals?
Why are they doing this to me? Because I have hope and it's not good, and why are they so good?
You guys just live to be
No,
crushed.
that's just me. I'm not
You want to
speaking
get
for
your
anybody
hopes
else.
up and then all of a sudden crush.
I'm speaking for me. I
Okay.
am not even speaking for everyone
Johnny,
else. I'm-
Mark, do you have hope? Do you
No,
have hope?
the
Do you
hope is that-
believe?
The hope has been beaten out of me too.
Wow.
The
Oh,
Minnesota
wow.
Blazers put it perfectly. They say that they preemptively take control of their disappointment by being disappointed.
Oh wow, guys,
They are 14 points up on everyone
Actually,
else in the league.
I've really liked watching the Capitals this season.
They're fun
and
to watch.
they're
I've come to the
terrific to watch.
realization that no matter what I do, it doesn't affect the team. So whatever,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
Oh, of course. I mean, I listen.
I'm
I
not
know.
staying up to watch
we-
them play on the West Coast, though. That's just dumb.
Oh, no, that just that's
Ah,
great.
fuck that.
Unless
Yeah, that's
it's a
yeah.
Stanley Cup final, then yeah.
Well,
if it's
even
the
then,
Stanley
those
Cup
games start-
final, you're
those
your
games
ass.
started
is
8
getting
Eastern regardless.
There you
Those
go.
games started 8 Eastern regardless, so 5 on the
Yeah.
Pacific.
5 in Pacific, so there you
Both
go.
are
Anyway,
good.
so that works to your advantage anyhow. But well, hey, but chasing history, they could be only the 3rd team in NHL history. That's right, only the 3rd team to win 60 games in an NHL season, joining the 1977 Montreal Canadiens, who I consider the greatest single-season team in NHL history. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Habs fan, because
well, the
I know
book
I
I'm
also
reading
saw
says
it,
that
but-
too.
Well, because hell yeah.
Yeah.
Look at half that damn team is in the Hall of Fame, for God's sake,
Yeah.
including the coaching staff and the general managers. Hello. And the 1995-96 Detroit Red Wings, who won 62 games, but I don't really consider that real because I just don't. Because of the time and stuff. But
I don't
Going-
consider that real.
Going into the night, they are 11 games behind that 60 win barrier.
how many
and
games do they have left? How many games they have
I
left?
can't do math. Including tonight.
How
it
many have they
looks
played
like
so far?
66. So what, 26 left? No, 16 left.
66, so 16 left.
16 left, yeah.
Yeah, so 11 more games. And your very own Braden Holtby, how many wins does he need to break the record for most wins in the season?
I don't know. Do you have that offhand? Because I
I
don't.
think it's 7. I think
I think
it's
it's 7.
41.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he is very
Or
yeah, because he's
42.
already reached the 40 win mark. He's got 41 victories. So the record is, I believe, 48,
needs 8.
held by Marty Brodeur. So he needs 8 to break it. I think that out of the two, I think that is the most doable. I think that one's the most doable of the two. I could see the Caps just coming up just short of reaching 60 wins. I think they can do it, but I could see them, maybe 58, 59 wins, coming oh so close, but just miss it. But unless Hopi gets hurt, I definitely see him breaking that record, man. I see him breaking that record. And your very own Al Ovechkin from Al Ovechkin Motors, because we don't do Al Semin Motors anymore. Since he's over in Russia.
He might be doing that over there.
Al Semin Motors in Odessa. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You come down to Odessa. But anyway, but he's got 41 goals.
Yeah, I
41
believe so.
goals?
Yeah.
So he only needs 9 more, and he hits 50 for the 7th time, putting him only 2 more 50-goal seasons away from tying Wayne Gretzky and Mike Bossy for the most consecutive 50-goal seasons.
You know what I find more enthralling than anything of these numbers that we're throwing out here?
Qua.
45 of 49 wins are in regulation.
That is amazing. That's impressive. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Oh, I'm
That
sorry.
is-
That's what is that? Regulation plus overtime wins? What does it even mean? ROW is just the wins in regulation, correct? Like, am I stupid in thinking that? What does that ROW mean in the?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys. Well, Jesus Christ,
They,
NHL.com, how dare you?
Okay. It's the tie-breaking format that have the first criteria being the greatest number of wins in regulation and overtime, excluding the shootout, rather than simply total number of wins. It's reflected in the standings as the ROW. ROW.
All right, so still 45 wins without a shootout.
Regulation and overtime wins.
Yeah. So only 4 wins via shootout. That's
Yeah.
still pretty damn impressive.
That's still impressive.
Well, the 3-on-3s helped them out a lot too. Let's not lie.
Oh my lord. Ovi loves it, man.
He doesn't.
Woo.
Kuznetsov loves it too.
Oh yeah. Jeez, that kid again impressing me. Out of all the cats, as much as I love Ovechkin and how well that he's playing and what an exciting player I think he is, but Kuznetsov has really impressed. Well, he really impressed me last year in the playoffs. I mean, a couple of those goals he scored against the Islanders were, as you kids would say, sick. But this season he's been fantastic. I mean, just unbelievable. I know people don't put much stock into plus minus too and all that happy shit. Nah, but not for nothing, he leads the league in plus minus as well. So
there you go.
There, but yeah.
Boom face. All right.
Boom goes Yay.
All right, this week's winner. Who do you think it is, everybody?
Mark with a C.
Is it me?
No, it is not.
Oh.
Lyle.
Johnny P.
Johnny P.
Son of a.
Jigs. Not that it matters, but
13
Jigs.
goals for Johnny P.
Whoa.
As his team played the most games out of all of ours.
Oh.
I came
I
in
got
second with
screwed.
6, and then Lyle and Mark had their teams only play 1 game.
What?
Lyle had 3 goals. Mark only had 1.
Those bastards. Who did I pick?
Good God. Let us never pick
the
that
Mississippi
league
River
again.
Kings. Mississippi MISSISSIS.
Wow. Wow. I'm going to have to start. Do I have to start checking the schedule ahead of time before we?
That's cheating.
Lyle, here we
Yeah, that
go.
is cheating.
194 for Lyle leading the race. Mark has 188. Johnny 184, creeping up on that second spot, and I'm in last place at 173. Having a nice area to just hang out and be.
Isn't minor league hockey your specialty, Scotty?
Yeah, but hey, tank for last.
He's
Last
tanking.
always
He's
wins.
tanking for
Good
last
point.
in the Frozen Four when you
It's-
pick up
it's
200
tanking.
points and that's the end of it.
You're shorting the 200 point swing apparently.
Yeah.
That's a stock market joke for you guys.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, I saw the movie. Actually, I read the book before I saw the movie, so that goes to show what a brainiac I am.
Kumja, we're going this week, boys. Kumja.
The Kumja.
All over the place.
Woo!
We'll start with when Mark gets a chance. When he brings up the Kumja, he can bring up the
I'm ready. I'm already here, man.
Well, then make the big brother.
Oh, look at him
Make your
go.
pick, brother.
Oh, for heaven's sake! What? Every time I type in Kumja, it keeps giving me this. Anyway, I just keep getting the wrong play. There we go.
I'm gonna go. I'm going against everything that I believe in. Not really everything that I believe in. Normally, I'm going high capacity. This time, I'm gonna go a little bit lower capacity.
Ooh, low capacity, are we?
The Rimouski Oceanic 815s.
Nice. I don't know what the 815 stands for, but
It's a
all
lost-
right.
It's a lost joke.
Oh.
You guys wouldn't understand.
Nope.
you
You
lost
mean the
it
show that has
on
0
us.
rewatchability? That show?
It has all the rewatchability. I would go back and rewatch it if it was good. It's a good show.
Lyle, you're up.
Well, of course, as you know, I have got to keep it wrestling. Got to keep it wrestling theme. Got to keep it real. Wrestling theme. Where am I here? Where are any of us in this world?
Good luck with this one.
What it's essentially.
Whoa.
I got,
Yeah, that's
I got
going to take longer than tonight's show.
I've
No,
got,
no.
I've got 3. Yeah, exactly. That question. But there are 3 choices here.
Okay, but I am taking the Victoriaville Tigre mask.
All right.
Oh, all right. There was 4 choices apparently.
Ah, no, I know, but I've been waiting all year long to do the Tigre mask. So
All right. We also would accepted the Sherbrooke Beth Phoenix,
Yeah. Okay.
the Charlottetown Islanders,
yes, I considered them as well.
and the Acadie Bathurst Titantrons.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's a cheap one though.
Yeah, I would have gone with Titan Sports on that one too, but yeah.
I also would have accepted the Cape Breton Ico Pro. Oh wait, no, that was the World Bodybuilding Federation that never really got off.
It never really got off the ground. Yeah, that had Lex Luger supposedly was going to pose in it. How
Well,
embarrassing.
listen, but
Anyway.
he showed up at Nitro, and
But anyway,
I
so
I'm
I got
going
Tigre
to-
mask.
there you go. I'm going to take.
Tiger Alley Sing would have worked also.
Yeah,
Yes!
that's true too.
Very good.
Just remembered that guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you'd
that's
think
a
I
great
would have
pull.
remembered that from Stampede Wrestling too. Jesus.
Exactly.
I am getting old. Ooh.
I'll take the tried and true Vad Ur de Fleur. Johnny P.
Sweden's entry into
yeah.
the Quebec Major Junior
Uh,
Hockey.
Lyle, it's a puppet scene. Someone else is pulling the strings.
with Brazil
Oh,
coming
sorry.
up, this summer, I'm going to go with the Gatineau Olympiques.
Ooh.
That's
Ooh.
nice.
Why don't you have any Olympics?
You.
That was an easy one.
You. Sound like a Soldier Boy song. You. Anyway. Wow, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Make sure you update your site for the ECHL trade deadline tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely.
Please do.
Everybody, please. Okay, folks, check out. Come on, ECHL, man. Come on, it's the ECHL trade
It's gonna be
deadline.
the greatest. You understand? We have more. The amount of guests that we have for this show is remarkable. I'm not. Oh, I should have just went here. I will go there. I'm not even lying when I say that we have. I'm bringing it up right now, because why wouldn't I? There we go. The show. Matt Harding has. Shout out to Matt Harding, who has been working tirelessly at this. We've got Patrick Williams from NHL.com. We've got Justin Cohn from the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette. We've got Tom Callahan of the Indianapolis Fuel, or the Indy Fuel. We've got Everett Fitzhugh of the Cincinnati Cyclones. We got Mark Benetti of the Rapid City Rush, and Cameron Close of the Adirondack Thunder. We got all kinds of guests tomorrow. It's a action-packed show.
Damn, man, that's impressive. Nicely done.
Starts at 1:30 Eastern, goes on to 4 o'clock. 1:30 Eastern to 4 o'clock Eastern, as the ECHL deadline ends at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Do me a favor. Shoot me a link, and I'll promote it up on my Twitter feed and my Facebook feed as well.
Indeed.
Some
I will
eyeballs
ship
your
you
way, sir.
one over. I will ship you one over.
Please
For
do.
the Lyle pub.
The
Yes,
Lyle, the Spectre's hockey
you
bump,
get the
always good.
You get the Spectre's bump, big time.
That-
Hey, don't be mocking, man.
You
When
might
I
wanna get that checked out.
whenever I do the it's funny, whenever I've sent a link along of some work somebody's done on a blog or something like that. Who is it? John Fontana who does the Tampa Bay Lightning blog. Raw Charge. They said they could always tell whenever I've shared a link to what bit of his work is it because the numbers just shoot up. So by numbers of 10. So 10 more people read it than normal. But no.
Hey, listen, that's also still 10 more people than watched any episode of Wednesdays with Wands, which has been on a creative hiatus.
Creative high. Well, yeah, you've got a lot of irons in the fire right now, my friend.
Yeah, it's mostly moving and then putting those irons in the fire along with the wedding stuff that I found as well. Putting that in the fire as well. Holy
Yeah.
jeez, that was a fun blast from the past.
Oh, memory.
80 pounds heavier? Oh boy. 80 pounds heavier,
Yeah.
so many years younger.
But you're going to a good place now.
I'm going to North Dakota. I'm going to be with cool people. I'm gonna be around cool
Exactly.
people.
Exactly.
It's a better vibe, I guess. Regular vibe.
Mhm.
I'm getting my fiber vibe. I'm getting the vibe of fiber I need. I don't know where we're going this. Let's just leave. Bye, Lyle. Thanks for joining us. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We'll
Talk to you next week, guys.
This is gonna be a
Best
sloppy ending.
Got weird quickly.
of luck on the show tomorrow, Scotty.
Thank you. We will need it. It's going to be a fun time. Bye, Lyle.
See you later.
There he goes. Lyle Rich, InspectorsHockey.net, HockeyNews.com. Bleacher Report and the PI Garland. Johnny P, shout us out.
Yeah, shout out to getting all my ducks in a row.
Quack, quack.
Yeah. Shout out to breathing.
It's always good.
Shout out to playing soccer again this Sunday, or this
Yeah.
Saturday. Haven't done that in a while.
Oh, yeah, outdoor or indoor variety?
It's outdoor, short-sided, and like 25-minute games. So, not dying is on my list of things to do this weekend. Actually, that should probably be on my list of things to do every weekend.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah. It's like the anti-bucket list.
So, some days it's debatable. So shout out to soccer, all that jazz. I found my gold Adidas Predators, so I'm gonna wear those because they're not flashy at all. And yeah. Shout out to having food in my house again.
Yeah.
Go Giant. I'm out.
Mark.
Let's see. I'll give a shout out to John playing soccer. I'm also going to be up in Baltimore. I will be watching some of those games. So shout out to that. Let's see. What else? Shout out to McClure. The Ides of McClure are this weekend. So McClure turning 33 this weekend.
Wow.
Well, technically the Ides of McClure are, the 15th, but he's celebrating this weekend.
That's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. So happy birthday to Mr. Adam McClure. I think that's about it for me. I don't really have many shout-outs these days.
It happens.
Yeah. Shout out to Scotty and his massive trade deadline show coming up this week.
Coming up tomorrow. It's going to be a great.
Tune in.
Great. It's going to be a great. It's going to be a rough day. That's going to be a long day. Oh well, it's all for the love of the game, right, everybody? Right. All right. Anyway, I guess it's my turn. Shout out to the Sinbin.net for doing a hell of a preview. Everyone there has done big things for the preview stuff. So go to the Sinbin.net for all the preview stuff. I wrote something too. It was kind of just something to get out of my writer's block funk. So if you want to check that out. But definitely check out the trade previews. So. And then check out the show tomorrow. Shout out to and safe travels to Mark as he goes to Hawaii. Next week, right?
Next week. Yep, I'll be gone Monday through Wednesday.
Nice. And I will give a shout out also to Daylight Savings Time because the farmers need their bullshit done. So fine, we'll move an hour ahead for you jerks.
Literally bullshit.
Every time with you farmers. Why can't you get it together? But whatever. We'll talk about this later. I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. Shout out also to having only about 1.5 rooms left to pack up. So that's always good.
That's good.
Just looking at all this shit in here. Holy crap. I got pasta. I don't know why I have pasta on my shelf. Why do I have 2 things of pasta on my shelf? This is weird. Anyway. Alright, that's it. That's all. For Johnny P, Mark with the C, I'm Scotty Watts. Take care of yourself and someone else. Has been Face Off Hockey Show on faceoffhockeyshow.com. That's also our Tumblr, Twitter, FaceOffHCKY Show, and Facebook, FOHS Radio. We will check you guys out next week. Well, at least 2 of us will. The other one, who knows where Mark will be? He's in the future at that point.
I'm in the past. Yeah, I'm in the past.
Yeah, you're not that close to the date line yet.
So I will be still at work. Most definitely still at work when you guys...
We'll tell you what happens in the later hours of the night. So
yes,
don't
please.
worry about it.
I want to know if I'm going to be attacked in the dark.
Sounds good. Perfect. All right, boys. Bye, everybody. Peace.